I'm Javier Harkeen, and this is Harking Back, a podcast about the pop culture of a lifetime. Whose life? Mine. I'm going back through every year I've been alive and finding out what was going on in that year. This week we're looking at 2018. I was 36. Annie was on mat leave. We just had Clara. And Annie decided to go back to New Zealand while she's on mat leave. And so I decided with Gary this would be a great time to go and do some of the Australian festivals. So we went out to Perth and Adelaide at the start of 2018. Never done these festivals before. I always wanted to do them. I remember the first night in Perth. We get there and, the house we're in, we're with friends. It's great. We're really happy. Have a few drinks. I go, that night we go to bed and it was so hot in Perth. I remember, I didn't even think about it. I opened the window and I woke up the next morning and my skin felt weird all over. And when I first woke up, I just noticed some bites on my arm. And I saw some more bites, and then I kind of tracked them up my arm, and I saw some on my shoulder, and at this point I kind of sprang back in bed and looked at my body. I remember like yelping or shrieking, whichever one is more pathetic. I did that one. And I was just looking, I was covered in bites. Easily 100 bites that I could see. And I remember thinking just like, ugh, just like I've been eaten alive. And Gary would not, I must have gone on about it because by the second day, Gary was like, could you please just shut the fuck up about your bites? I get it. You were mauled, but I can't listen to it anymore. Oh, the itching. Oh, sometimes in my sleep, I still think about it. Also in Perth, I remember seeing the biggest swarm of ants I've ever seen in my life. They'd found the bin in our kitchen. And, the bin was full of leftover food, and they must have smelt it in there because they'd made this chain, it was going through the floor, up the wall, around the corner, everything of the food going to and from. The ants are carrying everything. And I just remember thinking, imagine being the first ant who found that bin and would have seen it towering above him, literally towering above him, just mouth open, running back to the hive and just going, everyone, just put it down. Whatever you do, put it down. Come with me right now. And we all talk about Jeff the Ant. Never had to lift anything again in his life. Jeff the Ant. If there wasn't a queen, Jeff, he'd be king. Perth Fringe was amazing. It was so different having done Edinburgh for so many years. Like the audiences really made you feel that they appreciated you coming and making the trip. Like people would happily take flyers from you. What? What is this? I did 2 shows there. I did Card Ninja, a short season of 2 shows. Card Ninja by myself and Marvelous, Gary and I's Marvel sketch show. And every show was a joy. Like the audiences were amazing. They laughed. They were responsive. They sold well. You didn't really have to worry about numbers. The only downside was the heat. Holy shit. Like you came out of there feeling like an F1 driver. You just finished a show and you're just like, you had to have a towel with you on stage. Like, especially because sketch shows and Card Ninja are physical shows, yet you're moving around a lot and it was disgustingly hot. We did Adelaide after that. After doing beautiful Perth, we did Adelaide, but more on that later. I will save it towards the end before I tell you about Adelaide and my experience at Adelaide. Yeah. The biggest thing I noticed, I remember of 2018 was Clara being a baby, obviously. And what I noticed is, since having a baby, I would just cry at the smallest stuff. Like I noticed like anything like news stories that had children involved, that where bad things have happened to children, I would just find myself getting so upset about. And also, more sadly, any mildly sad moments in TV or movies, or heartwarming videos that come up on your feed, I would just go. There was I remember one time there was an ad for a bank, and it had a grandpa who had lost his wife, and it wasn't even that sad, but I just started welling up, and Annie looked at me and she was like, "Are you crying at a fucking bank ad?" And I said, "You have a heart of stone, woman." So I don't know. Clearly I've been kind of holding back a lot of shit, but I found myself getting very emotional about things as soon as I had a kid. That was the biggest thing I noticed. Parents out there, let me know if you felt this. Let's look at things that happened in 2018. Fergie sings of Black Eyed Peas fame, sings the national anthem at the NBA All-Star Game and has the rest of the Black Eyed Peas saying, "We don't know her." She turned like, what is it with celebrities trying to take the American national anthem and just like, I'm going to turn it into something different. She tried to turn it into this like jazz, soft ballad kind of thing. It just does not work. It's horrendous. Go check it out. I think she holds the crown until just recently, maybe last year or the year before, there was a country singer that she's clearly drunk singing the national anthem at a baseball game. But before that, Fergie was just butchers this. The American national anthem, celebrities always try to either make it as long as possible. Oh, say, can... Yeah, we get it. Fucking sing. Like, no, they always try to just change the song a little bit. Just sing the song. No other nations do this with their anthem. No one ever goes, let's make God Save the King a sea shanty. American celebrities not being able to sing the goddamn anthem might just be the most American thing ever. Like, just each one of them's like, I want to put my own spin on it. Yeah, a tailspin, evidently. Talking about Americans, Michelle Wolf this year in 2018 roasts the White House Correspondents' Dinner. This is the one where the president's supposed to turn up and Trump didn't because he's a pussy. She roasted so hard they had to rethink this event for following years. Like, she is a great comedian. You know when people go, oh, woman up for... Watch Michelle Wolf. She is fucking amazing comedian. Like, the craft in her jokes. And this particular video, go back and watch it. 2018 White House Correspondents, Michelle Wolf. It is just 20 minutes of joke, 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 joke. There's no fat on her set. It's amazing. 2018 also sees, if you lived in the UK, you'll remember the Gatwick Airport drone shutdown. Gatwick Airport is one of the London airports, and it's really, really busy. And around Christmas time, some dickhead with a drone just started flying it quite close to Gatwick Airport. Either they were completely oblivious, or they were doing it on purpose. But it ruined so many people's Christmas holiday plans. And again, I think having just had a kid, I was so more affected. I was just like, look at these families. They're just trying to get home for Christmas, and this dickhead with the drone is out there ruining it. Like, do you want drone hunters in the air? Because this is how it starts. Like, there's a drone terrorizing the airport, and someone will come along and be like, I'll build you a hunter drone. If you want, I'll build you a drone that hunts drones. It'd be like the drone equivalent of Quint from Jaws. Like, I'll catch your drone. I'll depropeller him too. Stan Lee dies in 2018. He was 95. I think he died from being 95. Great innings. I mean, Stan Lee worked his ass off in the 60s, created all these characters, and then he gets to die at the peak of the MCU. Like, he'd already filmed his scenes for his cameos for Infinity War and Endgame. So he got to see his creations become the global pop culture phenomenon that it is. You know, the zeitgeist of nerds having reached the apotheosis. And then he gets to die going, my legacy is fucking secure, as Patton Oswalt would say. I mean, good on you, Stan. I think the next movie that came out was like Captain Marvel, and in the intro animation, they just had like, where they normally would put all the different heroes from different movies, they just had Stan Lee and all those different cameos, and you could just feel everyone in the cinema just go, Also in 2018, Kevin Hart announces he's going to host the Oscars, and then 2 days later steps down because people found some tweets that were homophobic from years ago. So he steps out, he apologizes, and everyone moves on. I love this. Like, he made a classy, sincere apology, and everyone said, nice one, and America continued to do business with countries that kill gay people. So everyone was happy. In TV, this is the year that we get the Queer Eye revival. Annie loves this. I've watched several episodes of this. I've cried at several episodes of this because they just take these, just sob stories of people that have stopped looking after themselves because their wife died, or someone died. And as soon as someone goes, someone died and my kids did this for me, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm not going to make it through this. Again, the guy that has to do the renovations gets the worst job. The worst job. One's like, I'll give you a haircut. And the other's like, let's take you clothes shopping. Culture guy's like, hey, I got you tickets to an exhibition. And renovations guy's like, everyone get the fuck out. I've got 48 hours to do a complete renovation on this building. At the end, when they're all like toasting, notice that one guy's exhausted. That's the guy. When he's sitting there going, yeah, Preach, Queen. Roseanne gets a revival this year. Roseanne Barr. It was looking good until Roseanne tweeted something racist, and she blamed it on being on Ambien. Americans, stop taking drugs. Stop taking all those pills. If I ever got a high-profile part, I know I'd have to just throw my phone into the ocean, because I'm old now, and I would say something that would piss a lot of young people off, and I'd just ruin my opportunity. The Patriot Act with Hassan Minhaj debuts, and goddamn, this is good television. If you're a fan of informative content delivered by talented comedians, this show is for you. All right? Like, if you're enjoying this podcast, you will love The Patriot Act, because it is everything this is not. It is informative, and it's got a talented comedian behind it. It's definitely worth a watch. All right, let's get into the other pop culture things that happened this year. Let's look at songs. I'm just going for the top 5 here. I looked at all the songs that were coming out in the top 100 singles of 2018. I couldn't name you one, really. I didn't recognize any, so I had to listen to most of these for the first time. And number 5, Rockstar by Post Malone, feet tied $. Nice name. I like this Kill Bill music video style. I don't believe I've ever listened to any Post Malone before. Is this the guy that now has a shitload of facial tattoos? Because he doesn't then? I don't know. Anyway, this song doesn't really have a chorus, does it? The song sounds the same all the way through. I mean, it's fine, but it's pretty forgettable to my ancient ears. At number 4 was Havana by Camila Cabello. Kudos for the awesome pastiche of Latino soap operas at the start of this, the telenovelas. I miss music videos that have like a little story at the start of them and stuff. Michael Jackson loved that shit. Not gonna lie, this song, Havana, makes me wish I had learnt how to properly salsa when I was young. One of my secret shames is that I am of Latino heritage, and I am a terrible salsa dancer. And I wish I'd learnt how to do it properly. Because this song makes you want to, holy shit, it's banging. It's awesome. Now, I will say I'm a little bit hypocritical, because this song as well, it's kind of all along the same sort of beat, but goddamn, it is dripping with sass and attitude. It's really good. I liked it, and I'm a complete hypocrite. I just don't like Post Malone, maybe. I found out. And number 3 is Meant to Be by Bebe Rexha, feat Florida Georgia Line. What a name. Annie would love this, because it is so country. It's so country. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And it is such a country music video. Like, it's got all the tropes. Like, she's hitchhiking, and she gets in a pickup truck, and then she's working in a diner, and then she's wearing double plaid, for fuck's sake. Like, plaid on plaid. That is country inception. Bo Burnham does a great great parody of country songs, and he's like, every country song sounds the same, and he sings it's like a dirt road, a cold beer, something in my pickup truck. It's really, they've made themselves so easy to lampoon, and he nails it. If you haven't seen Bo Burnham's country song, go check it out. This was very, very country, and just also, but blends into every other country song I've kind of heard. But is that kind of what country music people love? Just like all the same stuff they've heard? I don't know. Anyway, number 2 is Perfect by Ed Sheeran. You look perfect. Ed Sheeran, not content with one song to rule all weddings with Thinking Out Loud, Ed releases Perfect, making sure he will be played at every single wedding in the Western world, and a large portion of Scandinavian ones too, mainly because they sympathize with his complexion. And at number 1 is God's Plan by Drake. This music video, I've never heard this song. The music video is Drake going around the neighborhood and blowing people's minds by being Drake and handing out lots of money. God's plan. I mean, I shouldn't be so cynical. I mean, good on him. A lot of other stars wouldn't have done that. But this song is so fucking boring. I was waiting for anything to happen in this song. Nothing happens in this song. Am I just old? Let me know if you agree. Or, if this comes on in a party, no one is dancing to this. You can't dance to it. You call this music, you can't even dance to this. I couldn't even properly shittily salsa to this. Okay, let's have a look at games. What a year for gaming. Celeste comes out this year, that awesome platformer. Into the Breach comes out this year. Into the Breach was made by the same people that did FTL, Faster Than Light, and I've loved both of these games. And Into the Breach is on Netflix as a game, a mobile game. So if you have Netflix on your phone, you can play this game on it. It's a brilliant little pocket rocket game. It'll keep you coming back. It's got amazing replayability. It is a turn-based game of like your giant mechs fighting off giant aliens to save humanity across different timelines. It is really, really fun. And one of those ones that you can just play it at any pace. And the more you play it, the deeper it gets. It's really good. A little game called Among Us debuts in 2018, but I guess more of that in 2020 when I get to there. Fallout 76 launches, which is the MMO version of Fallout, and it is a disaster. It is an absolute clusterfuck of a release. Like, the people that made No Man's Sky watched this and went, "Phew, god damn, at least that wasn't us." I mean, I could talk about it, but the best way to experience this is Internet Historian has made a video about Fallout 76 on YouTube. Check it out. It is nuts. It's like, this is the closest to like the Fire Festival of games. And it's covered so well in that video. Just bugs, like shortcomings on promises, people hacking things, like money being scammed all over the place, and the merch that came with the premium package options being crap. They launched a alcohol to go with it that's awful. Like, everything, they just screwed up. Apparently it's an alright game now, but it was amazing to watch the car crash. In 2018, I've got to talk about Red Dead Redemption 2, because this is a huge game that comes out in 2018. For a lot of people, this is their favourite game ever, Red Dead Redemption 2. They talk about the immersive experience and the slowing down of the experience and really letting yourself get lost in this world. And all I see in the footage is people hunting rabbits and cooking stews by a fire. And I'm not a fan of crafting in games, and I can't be asked riding horses from town to town. It looks like a lot of, hey, we take it slow around here in Red Dead 2, and you should too. And I don't have time for that shit. I don't. Like, if I had a lot of time off, I might want to give it a go, but it just looks like a lot of chores to do, frankly. People have talked about the story being amazing, but, oh god, it's one of those games, like, this is like, the thing I hate about open world games is sometimes, open world games, it used to be like, if you just want to do the missions, you could just do that. And then open world games forced you to start doing like, hey, you can stop by the saloon and play some poker, or you can come over here and start your own taxi service, or you can pick enough flowers to make, open a floral shop. But it made you do all that. And I was like, no, fuck off. I came here to be an outlaw. All right. I didn't come here to like set up a goddamn ranch. Let me know if I'm wrong. I know plenty of my friends have said like, dude, just play it. But then all I see again is like, oh man, I've got to get like kill more cows to make more leather for my saddle. Fuck off. Spider-Man comes out in 2018. Now, this is up my street. If Red Dead has horses traverse a map, and that sounds like shit to you, like it does to me, then this game is the antidote. I've never had more fun getting from point A to point B in a game than in Spider-Man. Just web swinging across New York never got old across the entire playthrough. The combat is very fun, and it makes you feel like Spider-Man. And especially as you start getting more fluid with it, and it becomes more natural, deploying gadgets. It's great. It's great. This game did for Spider-Man what the Arkham games did for Batman. It was such a joy to play. My only gripe about this is some bits felt repetitive, and the missions we have to play as MJ sneaking around behind people are annoying. Why do you think we bought Spider-Man? Do you think we were like, oh god, I hope you get to play as MJ, a depowered girlfriend running around trying to sneak behind people? Stealth missions in a Spider-Man game. I'm fucking Spider-Man. Anyway, it was really fun. It would have been my game of the year, Spider-Man. And by the way, I keep getting told by my nephew to play the DLCs. I haven't played the DLCs. Maybe I should do that. It would have been my number one, but my number one has to go to God of War 2018. This is immersion without having to catch animals and make a stew. It's weighty. You feel the blows. If you've played the earlier God of War games, like if you, as I did, I played the first one on PS2. this game adds to the air of mystery over what's happened to the main character since we last saw him. It reinvents itself from the previous games too in an amazing way. The worlds are scenic wonders. Like, you can just stop sometimes and look at the scenery and just go, wow. The fact the camera takes you through the entire game, story scenes and gameplay without any cuts is mind-blowing. The voice acting is through the roof. It's top-notch. And this story is about a relationship. I can't think of any other game that's been really like that. That you're on this, you're on this quest to do something, but it's about the relationship between Kratos and his son. And it takes the time to show the relationship between father and son, and it uses moments in the game where you're preoccupied, like traveling from one place to another, like in a canoe or something, or, as you're climbing around mountains and stuff. It uses those moments to facilitate these conversations, and it helps makes those traversals from point A to point B rich, because it's just layering on what's happening in this relationship. It's like this bloody soap opera story epic about a father and son. And it feels natural rather than forced. Even just saying all this makes me want to start the game again. It is a masterpiece of a game. I cannot praise it enough. Sometimes a little too much climbing. I cannot praise it enough. It might be my game of the decade. Oh, would I take it away from XCOM 2? It's so good. It's so good. All right. Let's jump right into movies. If you have, I've not played Ragnarok because I'm but a lowly PC gamer, and Ragnarok is on Steam, but it will not drop below 50 quid, and I can't justify spending £50 on a game. I'm more of the kind of gamer that I've got Steam, and like Steam has amazing deals, and like I pick up a game for like £2. Fuck yeah, I like that. Movies in 2018. The Grinch comes out, the animated one with Benedict Cumberbatch. This is my daughter's favorite Christmas movie, and I've seen it so many times. And it's surprising that I have, because I thought I turned her off The Grinch forever. See, we didn't see it in 2018. We didn't end up seeing this until she had started school, and they were going to go on this activity day during the holidays, and they were going to go watch, it was around Christmas time, and they were going to go watch, we got told they were going to go watch The Grinch at the movies. I didn't know they'd made a new Grinch with Benedict Cumberbatch. I thought they were talking about the Jim Carrey Grinch, right? The one directed by Rob, oh God, what's his name? Oh God, it's going to come to me. Not Rob Reiner? No, Ron Howard. Anyway, and I remember thinking, like, my daughter's a bit of a pussy. She gets, like, scared at anything. I remember the Grinch being a bit scary, this live-action Grinch with Jim Carrey. And so I was like, okay, I'll try to prep her for the movie by watching it a little bit with her tonight. And we start watching it, and she's like, I forget how nightmarish the Who's of Whoville are in live action. All right, this is real uncanny valley shit going on. It's everyone's already on ease. And then you meet the Grinch. And I've never seen the Jim Carrey Grinch until now. The Grinch is fucking terrifying. He's grotesque, and he broods, and his eyes are on fire. And the second my daughter saw him, she's about 4 or 5 at this point, she just screams and grabs me, and she's like, turn it off, please stop. And I'm like, oh God, she's not going to handle this movie tomorrow. We've got to push through. And I'm holding her, and I'm like, hey, let's just, maybe he's just misunderstood, and maybe by the end of the movie we'll find out if he's changed. And she's just going, please, no! She's grabbing me, squeezing me, and I just go, okay, well, we've got to turn this off now, otherwise it is trauma for life. And I sent her along the next day going, like, maybe in a bunch of friends she'll be able to handle it. But thank God it was the Benedict Cumberbatch version of the Grinch. And since then, she loves it. Anyway, that's how I traumatized my daughter. Bohemian Rhapsody comes out in 2018. I loved this movie. I loved everything about it. Until I talked to Gary, who's a big Queen fan, and he told me he hated it because of all the inaccuracies in it. And he told me about the inaccuracies, and I was like, what? Things like, there's a big plot point in the movie where Freddie goes and leaves the band to do a solo album, and everyone's like, oh, how could you, Freddie Mercury? And Gary's like, another member of Queen did that before Freddie. I'm like, this sort of shit, why? Just stop doing this in biopics. Stop doing it. These lives are amazing as they are. Their lives are exciting enough. It's Freddie fucking Mercury and Queen. You know why it is? It's because we're doom scrolling for stimulation so much that studios now have to go, oh, real life isn't enough. The real story isn't good enough anymore. We have to add more drama. Fuck off with that. Stop it. Just because you know what? It just ruins your experience of a biopic. Because I loved Bohemian Rhapsody, and now because of I found out the truth of and all the things they lied about in the movie and all the things they made a complete 180 about in the movie, it's annoying. And if I knowing these things now didn't ruin the story, I wasn't like, oh god, that actually makes it all bad. The only reason it's ruined is because they changed it, if you know what I mean. Ugh, stop doing it. We get Bumblebee in 2018, and for the first 10 minutes of this film, we get the best version of live-action Transformers that we've been waiting for over a decade for. Haley Steinfeld? Bing, ba-dum, bum, bum. Haley Steinfeld puts in a shift in this movie. She is the best thing in Bumblebee. She's the glue of this. She's puts in an amazing performance, especially when you remember that her co-star would have been a tennis ball on a stick. Well done, Haley Steinfeld. In 2018, we get a lot of pop culture has taken over, if you didn't notice already. Solo, a Star Wars story, comes out in 2018 and killed off the idea of character spin-off movies for a long time. No one wanted this movie. No one needed it. It's the movie no one cried out for, and we got, and everyone went, like, we don't give a shit how Han Solo got his name. Like, they just go back and kind of ruin things. It's a real shame because the acting is really good in it, especially like Alden Ehrenreich, Ehrenreich, the guy that played Han, and Donald Glover who plays Lando. Their performances are really good. Like in their own, they somehow managed to like encapsulate the essence of their older counterparts and make it their own as well. And the biggest upset about this movie is they made the Millennium Falcon sentient. Like Lando has this droid, and at the end they implant their personality into the Millennium Falcon, something that will never be brought up again, retrospectively, or in the sequels. It makes no sense why they did this, and it just makes everyone go, the Millennium Falcon has a soul, and they just stayed silent forever? Weird. Let's look at the top 5. Okay, at number 5 for 2018 is Aquaman. Aquaman. If you had told a 15-year-old me that a live-action Aquaman movie would be making over $1 billion with a B dollars worldwide, I would have assumed that in the future the oceans had indeed risen and that we were all living like Atlantis, because that would be the only reason that Aquaman was popular. I didn't watch it. I saw the trailer, and all the underwater effects, anything that made it a bit wavy, kind of it made my eyes water. Not in an emotional way. I have very sensitive eyes. Like, the very thought of opening my eyes in a pool, a chlorinated pool, actually makes them water a little bit. I hate anything going near my eyes. I freak out. Annie gave me some coloured contacts for one of my birthdays when we first got together. And it took me about 45 minutes to get one in, because every time I got near my eye, I just flinched away. I couldn't do it. I was like Rachel and Friends. At number 4 was Incredibles 2. Save your money, watch Incredibles again. Incredibles 2. I get why you made it. You knew you were going to make a lot of money, but it's just crap. Number 3, Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom. I mean, again, I understand why they're making it. They know every time they pump out one of these Jurassic Park movies, they're going to make a shitload of money over and over and over again. I don't blame them. I blame the people that keep going to see them because they looked at any piece of marketing for this and just went, dinosaurs, I love dinosaurs. Let's go see the dinosaurs. I mean, I stopped watching. I mean, what's the last one I watched? It was Jurassic Lost World, the first one with Chris Pratt. Where he's like doing the holding the raptors back with his hands thing. Was that Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom? I don't know. They've all, I don't care about the rest. I've just heard that the rest are shit. Stop making them. Stop doing it. I'm being a hypocrite again. I just said I understand why they make it. They keep making it. You know what? As long as you keep going to see them, they're going to keep making them. And unfortunately, you've got this thing now where the people that grew up with Jurassic Park have now got kids, and the kids love dinosaurs. My friend Dan, he wrote a kids show, and he reverse engineered it. He's like, I need to write something that like kids are really into. And he kind of worked out what like girls were really into and boys were really into and kids were just really into. And I think he called it like a dinosaur at the wedding. And he was like, I know, I've just reverse engineered what kids will like to make them come to see a show. And I was like, I applaud that. It's actually quite impressive. At number 2 is Black Panther. Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther, chose an accent in Civil War and had to stick with it for Black Panther. And no, the beauty of this is you can't fault it because he's doing a Wakandan accent, and Wakanda is a fictional country, so no one can say it's accurate or not. I mean, it sounds African, but it could have been anything. He could have been like, "G'day, I'm Black Panther." Ah! And everyone would have been like, maybe that's how they speak in Wakanda. I don't know. Andy Serkis is amazing in this. Killmonger is an excellent villain with a pretty convincing argument. I mean, he wins fair and square. Like, at one point, like, they're like, okay, we choose our leader through ritual combat, which I always found really weird. This hugely advanced technological nation. They go, we will choose our king by who can beat the shit out of the other one. All right, let's get some vibranium drones in here to record this. So Killmonger beats T'Challa fair and square in ritual combat. Their rules, not his. So he ascends to the throne fair and square. And what's his big plan? I want to use vibranium to help other Africans. You guys have been holding on to this all on your own. I think we should share the wealth for common good. What a prick, right? What a prick. Oh, come on, T'Challa, please stop him before he can enact this incredibly generous and selfless plan. And am I wrong? Am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong. I love Killmonger that he was like, you know what? And the old king murdered his father. I think he's totally justified. He's so totally justified. Look at Killmonger's side of the story and tell me he's not doing everything right. Okay. I will number 1, I will come back to this because it's my movie of the year. Other picks of the year, other amazing movies that come out this year. A Star is Born. I just really loved. I love the bit in A Star is Born where Bradley Cooper, the country music star, he goes and meets Lady Gaga in her drag queen nightclub, and one of the drag queens asks Bradley Cooper, "Sing me a song," because he's up on stage with a guitar, and he goes, "What do you want me to sing?" And she goes, "I don't care, just look at me while you do it." That's the most drag queen thing I've ever heard. I love it. Also, we got things like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which is just like an orgy for your eyes. Black Klansman, which is Spike Lee producing a great movie after years of producing movies. Crazy Rich Asians. I love a line in this movie. It's so funny. It's when they're in Singapore, I think. Is it Singapore? And some kids are eating chicken nuggets. And the dad goes, "Come on, eat up your chicken nuggets. There are starving kids in America." Oh my God, I laughed so hard the first time I heard that. A Quiet Place comes out. Wow, I love the originality of this. I really love this movie. I mean, John Krasinski and Emily Blunt do an amazing job in this. However, upon turning 40, I'm kind of like, what a world to live in. Holy shit. You mean a world where people have to be quiet? You know, one of the things that pisses me off the most is when people just start blasting their own music, like on a bike or on a bus or on public transport, where they just come on with some sort of speaker and now we all have to listen to your shit. Ugh! Lord, take these people first. And so to be set in a world where people have to be quiet and children have to be quiet, and if they're not, they're immediately gobbled up by these aliens, like, that sounds pretty fucking good. I take it all back. It was very sad to see the child get taken by the aliens. Vice comes out this year, and my God, it's a story about Dick Cheney, and it's got Christian Bale playing Dick Cheney. Christian Bale is transformed again. This guy, he might be the actor of our generation. Like, there's nothing this guy won't do to prepare for a role. He went from Batman to like bulking up for Batman to like in The Machinist, like not eating, and for this just putting on like about 50 pounds or whatever it was. It's really good. My movie of the year is, in fact, Infinity War. It is. I mean, it sounds boring, but shit, it was great. It's a villain-led superhero epic. I mean, amidst everything else that's going on here, they give Thanos a spotlight that shows us everything about this guy. His past, his motivations, his determination, his will, his power, his loss, his pain. There's an argument to be made that he is the hero of the story. I think it's often referred to as like it's a Thanos movie. And apart from that, the sheer scale of this was ridiculous. The fact they pulled this off. I remember Avengers 1 in 2012. Avengers 1 thinking, this is too big. There's no way they can do this. And that was after 5 films. The first Avengers team-up movie. This is after 20. And you got a team in space. You got sorcerers. You got Wakandan royalty. You got Avengers, fractured. To pull in from everything they've done up to this point, to give every single character in the movie their moment, to include all of that in a cohesive, paced, exciting, and rich movie. Bra fucking vo. I mean, it should have crumbled under its own weight. I saw it in a full cinema, and there's moments you could have heard a pin drop in there. And we walked out just going, what the fuck is going to happen? Like, it seems weird now, because if you've been following the MCU, it's just got to a point now we're just used to anyone being thrown with anyone. You know, there's Wanda talking to Doctor Strange, or here's Hulk talking to Thor on an alien planet. But, no, we'd already been used to that. But what I'm talking about is like things like, I remember in the trailer, the very end of the trailer, it's got Thor waking up and going on the Guardian ship and going, who the hell are you guys? And I was just like, oh my God, the Guardians are going to meet Thor. It's so exciting. It was incredible. It's such a good movie. The fact that it should have just been this mismatch. You know, you can imagine if they made it today, you just see studio execs going like, we're going to shove in nostalgia and some fan service. And it just would have been this slop of just crap. But it was rich and weighty and heavy. It was great. All right, no, it's movies. Let's look at Time's Person of the Year. Let's do it. This year, it's The Guardians, and that's referring to the journalists who had faced prosecution, arrest, or murder for their reporting. People like Maria Ressa, a Filipino journalist who's reporting on the Filipino dictator Duarte. Jamal Khashoggi, shit, right? And some others in there. Oh, God, I never knew that this would be so political. Time's Person of the Year. How could you not know it? It's Time Magazine, you idiot. Personally, in 2018, I wrote a kids show. Talking about Dan writing a kids show, I wrote a kids show. I looked at some of the kids shows that were being put on there. I was like, I think I could write one of those too. By being put on there, I mean the Court Theatre in Christchurch. They had a really good track record of taking like submissions from people that had worked for the court jesters, the improvisers. Like, they'd done a lot of them. I'd performed in a lot of them. I'd never written once, and I'd done like about 6, so I kind of knew the sort of things that worked for kids shows, include a lot of that. The show was called The Littlest Ninja, and it was about a ninja clan, and there's the little girl, the smallest of the ninjas, and how being small in the end and being courageous helps you. And it was put on in April of 2018. My one big regret of that year is that I couldn't go see it because I was in London. It was in New Zealand. But I got sent a video of it, and I was getting sent production updates, like, here are the kind of costumes we're looking at. Here are the actors we're going to have. Here are some changes the director made. And I was like, yes, great, all of it. It was so exciting to see. I'd never had that. I'd never had something I've written performed by other people and gone through the process of like, it's going to have a proper director and it's going to have a costume designer and then someone's going to make a set for it. And it was just so awesome to see it. I'd love to revive it somewhere, somehow. I really enjoyed it. Being part of it and you're just writing it. It was great. And also being like, when you work live, you're really searching for any kind of work that you can do once and get paid for it. Because right now, all my other work, I've got to turn up to get paid. And I don't think that's a great retirement plan. So things like this, I don't know. Does anyone know of any theatres looking for kids' show scripts? Let me know. And let's come back to Adelaide. Perth was amazing. And then we had a quick break, went back to New Zealand, Gary and I saw my family quickly, and then we went to do Adelaide. Adelaide is a long-ass festival. It is 5 weeks. It is a week longer than Edinburgh. And I think we were there for all of it. I can't remember. It feels, I know it was 5 weeks. Maybe we only did 4. But it feels like an eternity. I did Card Ninja at this venue called the German Club, which was not in the main hub of things. and we did Marvelous, our sketch show, in this place called Gluttony, where there were a lot of people. You know, it was a hub venue. And Gary and I stayed in a little place that had a little Airbnb that said it had a kitchenette. It had a microwave, it had a cooker, it had a kettle. It didn't have a sink. And we finished our first meal and we're looking like, where the fuck's the sink? We had to wash our dishes in the tiny little hand basin in the bathroom. And there's something odd about washing dishes next to a toilet. It just feels weird. Like, we did not have a good time at this festival. The German club was so far away, or like just not... It wasn't a great venue for the Fringe. It was like one of those things, places where people were like, oh, are you putting on Fringe shows here? It's weird. I think it was more of a music venue. So it was a bit away from things. And in Gluttony, we were in this big tent, and the noise bleed from other shows was terrible. Our audiences were shit. Like in terms of numbers, we just couldn't get good numbers in there at either show. We got so bored and depressed with the show that we swapped parts one day when we had barely anyone in, and just took the piss out of each other's performance, like just to keep sane. We were going crazy out there. I just wanted this festival to end. I was just so miserable. But at least we, in that sketch show, we had each other. Like when I went off to go, I just whacked the microphone. When I went off to go do Card Ninja on my own, my God, that was tough. Every time I turned up, I was like, oh God, I don't want to do this. Because I think I played on average to about 9 people a night in a room that held about 150. Just the numbers were just so shit. And you can't blame the people that have turned up. They've turned up, so I tried to give them the best show I could. But Card Ninja is a very audience interaction heavy show. So, you're asking a lot of them to provide all the energy and literally be part of the show as well. It was just really tough. And the worst was the sponsors evening, where, the people from the sponsors, they're given tickets to the show and they're given drink before the show. So you end up getting this big group of about 40 pissed up people that don't actually want to see your show, but have been told to come along. It was the biggest audience I got, and I hated most of them. Because they're kind of like they're watching telly, like they're pissed with their mates, and I'm trying to do things, and I'll say something, and they'll just kind of turn to each other, sounds like you, Dave. And I'd be like, could you guys, sorry to interrupt you, I'm just trying to do a show here. It was horrendous. I didn't love it at all. Adelaide, I call it Sadelaide. And when I finished that festival, I said, I'm never coming back to this festival. I had such a bad time at it. I said, I'm never coming back to this festival unless it's on a plate. And a few years later, I'll tell you about it when it comes up. I did go back. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you so much for listening. If you like this podcast, hey, share it with a friend. Tell a friend about it. If you like my ramblings, check out my full comedy special on YouTube. It's called Difficult First Album. And I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks so much. See you later. Bye.
It's time to walk back.